This is the all-new Zorin OS 16.3. The newest iteration of the feature-packed, fan-favorite Linux distro is out with a bang. I've always been very interested in Zorin OS because Zorin is the ultimate desktop Linux. It looks gorgeous, it's packed with stunning features, and it's one of the most usable operating systems we have. I wouldn't be wrong in calling Zorin the de facto personal computing operating system. And in this video, we'll be having a look at the new improvements and additions that make Zorin 16.3 shine, from the game-changing Zorin OS Upgrader to the impressive enhancements in Zorin Connect. I've been using Zorin OS 16.3 since it came out, and I'm impressed by how good the experience of using Zorin is. Zorin is a super polished, premium operating system that's meant to provide you an elevated computing experience. So let's jump right in and have a look at what's new, what's improved, the user interface, performance, stability, usability, the game-changing experience, and do a total deep dive with Zorin OS 16.3. This is going to be good. Having a good knowledge of Linux commands and being comfortable using the terminal really broadens what you can do with Linux and what kind of experience you are going to get here. So if you're interested in leveling up your Linux game, definitely check out my course Linux Mastery Express, which is the fastest way to learn Linux and start using Linux like a pro. I'll teach you a set of commands that will give you the confidence to use Linux without even a graphical user interface. Then we'll dive deep and learn how to use the V-editor and master shell scripting with real-life examples. After teaching more than 100 students in person, I've curated this course with the top things that will level up your Linux skills the fastest. So if you're feeling like your Linux game is stuck in the same spot for too long and you're ready to take your Linux skills to the next level quickly, check out the link in the description below and get your Linux Mastery Express. We are running a massive 45% discount right now, so make use of it. Alright, starting off with what's new. Firstly, we get a whole new upgrade utility for Zorin OS. Zorin OS 16.3 comes preloaded with a new application called Zorin OS Upgrader. In response to the community's request for a simpler way to upgrade Zorin OS, the developers have brought exactly that, a simpler way to upgrade Zorin. Zorin Upgrader currently lets older installation of Zorin OS to update to the latest version and even upgrade to the paid Zorin Ultimate version as well. An update tool is quintessential for every Linux distro. I like Zorin's approach here. The application is kept minimal, clean, and it's very simple in what it does. I mean, it's simple in how the user gets to use it. There's a big button called Upgrade, which shows you detailed information about what's to take place, how much data will be used, how much additional storage will be used, and then does the entire magic automatically. After a reboot, you'll be graded by the latest and greatest Zorin OS. I also like the fact that Zorin OS gives you the control. Instead of going the automatic updates all the time route, the developers have decided to give you the control. You get to decide when and if your system is to be updated. That's the Linux way, isn't it? Moving on, Zorin Connect, the smartphone companion app here, gets updated to be even more powerful. Zorin Connect lets you pair your smartphone with your Zorin PC and do things like sharing files, media control, remote control, checking and replying to texts, all wirelessly. Zorin Connect really simplifies that mobile-PC relationship. Now, we get the ability to run commands on your PC directly from your Android phone's power menu. It also gets improved playback controls when you're listening to music on your PC. Changing music tracks, adjusting the volume on your big speakers is even more convenient from your smartphone now. Additionally, many software packages here on Zorin receive updates. Some notable ones are LibreOffice gets updated to version 7.5, which is the latest version at the moment. This brings even better compatibility with Microsoft Documents. The dark mode here has also been improved big time. This is really good as Zorin OS itself offers a dark mode and LibreOffice will feel more at home here. The design of LibreOffice has also been refreshed with a tab navigation interface which feels sleeker now. There are many more updates to the pre-installed apps here as well. Zorin 16.3 brings newer versions of many software, which will give you a more feature-rich and contemporary experience. Zorin has been playing the iterative and consistent improvements game, and with every update, Zorin gets a little bit better. It's nice to see another round of these iterative updates. Now, let's move on and have a closer look at the system. Zorin OS 16.3 Core comes with GNOME 3 Desktop, but it doesn't look like GNOME because the whole thing has been customized extensively to get this look. And man, does it look gorgeous. Extensive work has been done on Zorin's desktop to provide that super premium experience to the users. A sleek bottom panel that houses all your controls, a trendy menu that has all the applications nicely organized into categories, and a fast search. These let you open applications and switch between them very conveniently. Then there's a neat quick control section here which lets you do various things like turning off your computer, connecting to your phone and a few other things. You know what? I really like Zorin's take on GNOME. GNOME has been modified into something very beautiful here. And talking about the theme is just amazing here. All the applications and the desktop itself look very uniform together. I particularly love how applications look here. Just look at the premiumness here. Even third-party applications integrate very nicely here. And if you want, there are a good set of customization options here as well. You can choose from an array of pre-selected colors. You can switch between light and dark modes here, and there are a few other fine-tuning options as well. I like the color options here especially. But that's not all. The Zorin Appearance application lets you completely change how your Zorin desktop looks and how you use it. Zorin Appearance lets you choose from 4 different pre-configured layouts which are just as refined. All the major desktop layouts are available here and are activated with a single click. This makes Zorin perfect for you no matter what your desktop preferences are. But of course, what we get out of the box is the best one in my opinion. Overall, in the user interface department, ZorinOS does a phenomenal job. ZorinOS looks stunning on laptops as well as desktops, all while being ridiculously simple to use and get started with. Then there's choice. You can customize Zorin to what suits you the best. What more could you ask for? Top points for the UI. ZorinOS absolutely demolishes the competition in the software availability department. ZorinOS is marketed as an alternative for Windows and macOS. Yes, Zorin is going after the big two and trying to eat away at their market shares. And Zorin aims to come out as the better alternative that is designed to make your computer faster, more powerful, secure and privacy respecting. Now there are many other Linux distros and many are extremely good. But when it comes to how the user installs software and the software availability, this is where Zorin OS 16.3 scores a major win over other Linux distros. Then there are a few bonuses that are just mind-blowing. Firstly, Zorin 16.3 is based on Ubuntu 20.04 LTS, which brings in a vast repository of latest, well-tested packages. Now many software vendors test and package their software for Ubuntu, so this ensures that these software will be installable on Zorin in a quick, convenient and secure way, and after installation, they'll be working flawlessly. This alone is invaluable. Then, Zorin OS 16.3 ships with FlatHub integration. FlatHub is the biggest library of modern Flatpak apps. This allows you to install the latest and greatest of all the software with enhanced privacy and better than before stability. Flatpaks are flawless in a sense that they'll work without any issues. They are packaged with their dependencies and necessary libraries to ensure an impeccable user experience. And that's exactly what they deliver. Zorin 16.3 also gives us snaps, which are yet another set of modern packaged apps pioneered by Ubuntu's parent Canonical. Ubuntu has been doing great work with snaps and it has taken a solid stance there, which has resulted in many top vendors like Google, Microsoft, Spotify bringing their software and tools to Linux. In fact, many developers have brought their apps over to Linux because of snaps. Between Flatpaks and snaps, many developers who are new to Linux have been choosing snaps. Zorin fully takes advantage of this and supports snaps out of the box. To sum up, Zorin OS 16.3 supports native .deb packaging, Flatpaks and snaps. The software store on Zorin is the final masterstroke. This software store here is clean and organized. It's flourishing with amazing apps across categories. Any software you want can be installed in any format you want by selecting here. This is very nicely done. 3 package managers and so much complexity under the hood. But all the user sees is a clean, organized and easy to use software store. Zorin OS scores a big win here. Are we done? No. Zorin has another ace up its sleeve. Since Zorin OS is targeted at Windows users, Zorin developers have implemented an ingenious feature that kicks in as soon as you try to open or install a Windows application. When you download and click on an exe or MSI file which run only on Windows, Zorin OS immediately asks you if it should install Windows App Support, which is Wine and some additional things that let you run Windows apps on Linux. While we know Wine is not perfect, it is capable of running many Windows applications without issues. If you choose this, Wine, Play on Linux and some new supporting components will be installed. Then the Windows executable file will run. But the real genius comes next. When you download a Windows application from the internet and click on the file, Zorin OS checks if the particular application is available natively for Linux. And if it is, it gives you the choice to install it natively using the software store, which is the better option in every way. Or you can run your downloaded file using Wine. Something like this is unheard of and is great for first-time Linux users. ZorinOS 16.3 has a philosophical abstraction layer where the OS takes care of everything. You still know what is happening on your system, but you are not overwhelmed by the complexities and you have the power to choose everywhere. This is priceless for a Linux newcomer. I'm sure many experienced Linux users too would appreciate the simplicity here. Software availability wise, ZorinOS 16.3 has got it all. Snaps, Flatpaks, Ubuntu repositories, Windows app support, and to top it off, an amazing software store that is a delight to use. I'm blown away. In ZorinOS, speed has been given top priority, so the desktop runs snappy on a wide range of hardware. At every level of the operating system, there are performance enhancements. Productivity gets a boost here because of these improvements. The system is fluid, smooth, and everything feels very responsive here. App opening times are good, but if you're using a traditional hard disk drive instead of an SSD, installing apps in .deb format would be better for app opening speeds when compared to snaps or Flatpaks. The system performs really well on even mid-range laptops and desktops. Performance-wise, there are no complaints. But if you're using older or low-power devices, I highly recommend Zorin Lite. Zorin provides a light variant which comes with all the goodness of the standard Zorin OS but with a stronger emphasis on performance, mainly on older and low-power devices. Zorin Lite features the XFCE desktop environment but looks very modern and similar to Zorin OS core version. This is one of the best looking XFCE distros today. This version will run smoothly on computers with as low RAM as 1 GB and ancient processors. Throw it on something even mildly powerful and you'll be blazing. Performance wise, Zorin OS 16.3 will leave you happy and smiling, and the Lite version is a great resuscitator for old devices. Zorin OS presents itself as a practical alternative for Windows and macOS. Stability becomes an element to consider when you're not just targeting the tech-savvy Linux user base but the whole general mass. This is exactly where Zorin's Ubuntu lineage brings in a huge advantage. Ubuntu was the original Linux for humans. Ubuntu made Linux accessible and usable for everybody. Zorin OS not only uses this amazing base to build on but also improves upon it. Ubuntu is one of the highest used operating systems for high priority multi-million-dollar servers, so it is extensively tested and highly polished. Zorin uses this dependable base and couples a high convenience user interface with it. This makes Zorin OS one of the most dependable and usable operating systems in the world right now. Zorin OS 16.3 will be fully supported till April 2025, so you'll be covered for a long time. And talking about the usability, I'm sure you're already convinced and intrigued by the simple yet stunning interface and features like Windows app support that make the switch from Windows to Linux easier. There's just so much more here that makes using your computer a better experience than other operating systems. Zorin Connect is another fantastic example of usability features that are absolutely loved. You get out-of-the-box support to connect your Android phone to your Zorin PC, and this allows us to do things like getting notifications on your Zorin desktop, sending messages from your PC, sharing files and links between devices, and also use your mobile phone as remote control for your PC. So, Zorin 16.3 is highly recommended for students, software developers, businesses, schools and colleges, and other professional use. Zorin 16.3 takes measures to amp up the gaming experience too. Firstly, AMD, Intel integrated, and even Nvidia optimal drivers are pre-installed, so you're getting the best possible performance right out of the box. Then, Zorin provides a streamlined gaming experience with its Windows app support. The big deal here is you can directly install Windows games here. If you have game disks or your own files, you can install them here like you'd on Windows. When we try to install a Windows exclusive game, Zorin OS checks Lutris and Play on Linux databases and lets us install it with tried and tested optimal settings. So here, for many games, you can just install them as you'd on Windows. Zorin developers have done an extraordinary job in how the OS deals with Windows apps and games, and this feature will be highly appreciated, mainly by Linux newcomers. And if you use Steam, you can play a huge number of Linux and non-Linux titles here using Proton. Windows exclusive games like GTA 5, Cyberpunk 2077, The Witcher 3, and many more install and run like they are Linux native, without you needing to tinker around any wine or play on Linux settings. Both casual gamers and serious gamers will enjoy this system. Gaming is another area where Zorin 16.3 just aces it. Seriously, no other distro has such great gaming support. Zorin 16.3 comes with a very easy installer. Even Linux newcomers can install it easily as all the options and operations here are represented in a very simple way. Anyway, I will link the step-by-step guide video in the description below. It's just 3 minutes long. You can follow that to get started with ZorinOS quickly. ZorinOS 16.3 automatically installs GPU drivers for all the graphics cards, including Nvidia, so there's nothing much to set up. Zorin also has a desktop tour app that introduces you to the new Zorin and lets you set up some things like the desktop style, pairing your phone to your computer through Zorin Connect, and some other things that streamline your experience here. All in all, installing and getting started with ZorinOS 16.3 is very simple and takes around 15 minutes. If I have to describe ZorinOS in just a single word, I would call it pure craftsmanship. I know that's 2 words, but you get the idea. Really, Zorin works great out of the box. In my years of using it, I've not had any complaints from Zorin, and in every little aspect, ZorinOS gives you a little bit extra. Looks extra good, it's extra stable, goes the extra mile and a bit more on top of that in the software department, and all in all, provides an extra premium user experience. And for people coming from Windows background, Zorin feels like home. Of all the Linux distros, Zorin comes closest to that Windows experience. If I swap Zorin for Windows for somebody who's not tech savvy, I bet the money in my bank they won't even notice it. And Zorin is targeted specifically at Windows refugees. I love Ubuntu. It's a phenomenal operating system. It's not easy taking Ubuntu and improving upon and building something even better. But folks, Zorin has did it. Zorin 16.3 is a fantastic update that brings in the iterative improvements and updates needed for 2023. Do check it out. The download link for Zorin 16.3 is given in the description below. If you enjoyed our deep dive with Zorin, definitely consider subscribing to the channel and leave me a big thumbs up. And if you're interested in leveling up your Linux skills, the link to my course Linux Mastery Express is given in the description below. It's designed to teach you Linux and take you from zero to hero within the shortest amount of time possible. You'll be using Linux like a pro within a matter of hours, so definitely check that out. Alright, if you had fun with Zorin in this video, you'll absolutely love this fantastic distro called NixOS. It's pretty amazing, so don't miss that. Alright, this is the Next Text, signing out.